Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Dumithetla Nyani. As I've mentioned before, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the content with your friends and family. As I've mentioned before, I am a mining engineer by profession. But most of the time we find ourselves in a space where we've studied something but we're not really interested in the whole cycle. For instance, mining is a whole process from design to mine closure, and there are different spaces in this industry that a person can find themselves in. As I've mentioned before, I found myself in mine planning. Do I want to stay in mine planning forever? I don't think so. Hence, I'm moving to production. I know the thing is, production is not for everyone, right? It's rigorous. It's a lot of hours. You work 12 hours at a time, if not more. And it's actually dirty work because you're in the field all the time. And it's a lot of HR because you're dealing with people, operators, and people of different personalities, different mood swings, whatever. And that can be, that can take a toll on a person's confidence and ability to do their job. And so if you're in planning, it's a great way for you to get exposure in terms of the whole mine stream. You get exposed to the metallurgical side, you get exposed to the production side, you get exposed to the marketing side, to the logistics side, and to the overall running of the company. So if you're a person who's very analytical, a person who's very orientated in terms of numbers, and a person who wants to know what is happening at all times, then planning is the best space for you to be in, honestly. Planning or A&I, analysis and improvement, I definitely say that. Mine production is more for the people who are very goal orientated, if I should, that's not the right term, but it's more for the people who want to see a result and want to see it now, if I should put it like that. And it's for people who are very energetic because it involves a lot of moving around, and people who can stand their ground and be able to, converse and are solution based, and a person who can come up with a solution now. So that's mainly what production is for. But if you find yourself not interested in mainstream mining and you don't want to be at a mine site or in a mining town for that matter, then you can always take things such as consulting into consideration. There's management consulting, operations consulting, there's financial consulting, and then there's also, that's for other, there's IT consulting, and then there's also financial consulting, human resources I meant. So human resources I don't think you'd necessarily fit in, but the other forms of consultancy are quite interesting and they're quite rigorous. I know they're now focusing on the new world order in terms of the spaces they're in terms of technology advancements, in terms of how can mining move from people-based mining into machinery. So such things are in South Africa still a working pipeline. They're still gonna take time to get there, but consulting is one of the greatest spaces to be in if you're someone who is very focused. Very focused is not the right term, but if you're someone who is very analytical, someone who's very precise, someone who's very also able to articulate themselves very well and get a point across, and be able to be willing to travel around as well, because that's one of the things as well that comes with it. You have to service a mine site in Limpopo, another mine site in Witbank, another mine site in Rustenburg. So you must be willing to move around all of those spaces and be able to keep up your work, and someone who's able to manage their own time correctly, because that's one part of it. If you're also a person who's very interested in IT and technology and machinery, then you can move into spaces like working for Balo World, working for yellow machinery companies. I forget the companies, but essentially those type of companies, and get to be in the processes or be involved in the processes of developing those machinery, in terms of designing of those machinery, in terms of being a consultant for mine sites, in terms of the maintenance of those machineries and whatnot. So that's one option. Another option, is to become a lecturer. I mean, you've gone through the undergrad, you've kind of understood what it entails. Actually, when you graduate, you should know what it entails. And by the time you graduate, you can then pass on the knowledge and become a junior lecturer, go on to do your master's, go on to do your PhD. I know a couple of people who went into production at first, figured they don't like it or figured they like it but want the opportunity to be able to do their masters without necessarily spending their own money, because those are the perks that comes with being a lecturer as well. You get the opportunity to do your masters under the school you'd be teaching in. So for instance, if I wanted to be a lecturer, I would go back to Wits, apply, should they take me? Apply, they take me, and then I'd be a junior lecturer, and one of the requirements, I believe, is to do your masters. Once then you can do your PhD. UNISA also has a system that's currently in progress to recruit mining engineers from the field and teach them or take them through a master's program there for PhD, and then they will then go on to be lecturers in the future. It's quite a lengthy process, and you obviously won't be getting the money you'd be getting if you were in a mainstream production or on a mine site. But if you are someone who's interested in academia, if you're someone who's very much books, interested in books and reading a lot, and writing papers, joining Saim, those are the spaces that you really want to be in. Things such as PPS, those are the spaces you really want to be in. I guess one of the other things also that you can consider is bringing in an entrepreneur. That is actually the quickest way, if not the quickest way, to make money in mining, honestly speaking. There are many things that need entrepreneurs in the mining industry, from fencing to supplies in the stores, to trucks. I plan for a whole lot of trucks. I obviously can't mention the companies, but I plan for a whole lot of trucks. And that's just my department, right? There's still logistics, who needs whatever trucks for whatever. There's still marketing, who needs trucks to move whatever. So if you are in the logistics space and you want to find or if you are rather interested in the logistics space and you want to find yourself moving around, logistics as an entrepreneur is one way to make money. It is a huge investment going in, and there is the likelihood that for instance, if you buy a truck secondhand, things can go wrong, but it's one of those things that can give you a great payout at the end. And that's just one thing. It does not necessarily have to be something so big. It can be pipes, it can be pumps for the plant. It can basically be anything. So entrepreneurship in mining is something that is actually, and it's also endorsed by the mining charter. So you can read up on that and find out how you can find yourself in that 30% that's required, right? And find out what it is that they need, because for now, I know that so many companies have so many people on their vendor lists that it's becoming tedious. But once in a while, I know they do review their vendor lists and look at who they need and who's overcharging them, and who else they can bring in. So it can literally be something simple as selling competent rock material for a shovel to be able to stand or be assembled on. It's really just that simple. You just need to find your niche or what it is that's needed and be able to move into that space. Also, in terms of entrepreneurship in mining, I think it's one of those things that you need to be flexible about. Don't just keep to one thing and say, I'm selling a pump. If you are an individual, whereas obviously if you're a company, then you have preset rules or whatever. But if you're an individual that's trying to make it and move around, be flexible, whatever they need, whatever you need, find out and have a different vendor number in different companies. Obviously, if you work in the mining industry and for a specific company, you can't obviously have a vendor number there, but have your hand in all the pots. You understand what I mean? Another thing also that a person can find themselves doing is being a middleman. So you don't own any trucks, nor are you affiliated with any particular business in terms of shares or being inclined to that business. But you are a middleman to say, I own trucks, I want to move however many tons from one place to another. You are the connecting person, and you are Olivia Pope of the process. You understand what I mean? You get to make money from connecting people to people, of making deals. It can be a very shady business, to be honest, but if you are good at communicating, if you're good at being able to read people and be able to read situations and be able to get the required documents, then it can be a feasible career choice for you. And some of the stuff that I mentioned don't even need you to be a mining engineer. On a brighter note, so there are quite a number of spaces that a person as a mining engineer or a person who is in mining can find themselves in. It does not necessarily have to be at the mine, because honestly, as we have come to find out, you won't make money as an employee, but there are many other things that you can find yourself doing. Acquaint yourself with a lot of reading material in terms of mining in South Africa, in terms of the mining charter as well, and in terms of the BEE percentages that a company must endorse. That will generally assist you and also guide you in terms of knowing where to go. Also, just know what you like and what you don't like. I personally can do mine planning, but I don't enjoy it. I enjoy interacting with people, and hence I believe the move to production is the best for me. So you know, such spaces can be such, you know what I mean. So basically, guys, I love you guys. Let me know what you guys want to know more. Comment down below, and I'm willing to research for you guys and give you all the data or information that you may need if you want to move from one space to another. I'm always interested, and let's see where it goes.